Hello, I'm Sketches.n.Scrubs. I make weekly art tutorials, paint-alongs and vlogs. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Today I'm going to be doing a speed painting of this piece as well as a bit of an introduction. Hello, I'm the face behind Sketches.n.Scrubs. I thought that it would be nice to introduce myself by showing you guys my face and letting you know a bit more about me. The YouTube channels that I tend to love the most are the ones where I can actually see the artist and I can see their workspace and what they do, etc. In terms of a brief introduction, I'm a hobby artist. I started doing more painting and more drawing during the first pandemic, probably around May 2020, and I really enjoyed it, and that's how I started my Instagram, and from there I decided actually let me start a YouTube channel as well. My Instagram is at Sketches.n.Scrubs, and there'll naturally be a lot more of my work on there because it's a lot easier to take a picture of my work than it is to video it, edit it, and then put it on YouTube. So thank you for all of you who've already gone there, and thank you for everyone who's watching, and especially those who subscribe. It really does help my channel grow, and it lets me know that what I'm making is actually helpful for you guys, so thank you so much. I recently started my Etsy page, MaksPaper, where I'll be selling some of my art prints, cards, and eventually some stationery. So I have really big plans for there. I have big plans for YouTube. I have big plans for Instagram. I just have big plans. But yeah, I hope that's enough of an introduction and it gives you guys a bit of an idea of who I am and what this channel is about. I did contemplate whether or not I should put on makeup for this video, especially, you know, put myself in the best light and do an introduction, etc. But then realistically I realized that if I have to put on makeup every time that I do a YouTube video with my face on it, I will just not make those videos because I don't put on makeup most of the time. So when I have makeup, consider it a treat. It's a special day, I glammed up, but most of the time I won't. So at least this isn't a barrier, right? Like, first videos out there, if I didn't have any makeup for the first video, then I don't have to have makeup for any of the rest if I don't want to. So yeah, that's why. Obviously, if there's anything else you guys would like to know, then feel free to message down in the comments and ask me. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the tutorial. Bye. So for this speed painting, I thought it would be useful to actually leave a lot of the palette in so that you guys can see what colours are mixing. I find that I look at a lot of artists' pieces and artists' work and I really want to know how they did a certain part or how the whole thing came together. So I do think that there is a benefit that can come from watching speed paintings and certainly slower tutorials to just figure out how certain pieces are done. Obviously we don't have the luxury of time to wait and watch for hours and hours and hours, so that's where, you know, time lapses and speed videos really come in handy. So for this piece I created my colours before I started, and I knew that I wanted it to be predominantly oranges and yellows, and as I've mentioned in past videos, I don't really tend to make plans before starting. I just kind of start and see where it goes, although I do think that in future videos I'm going to make a bit more of a concerted effort to actually make plans. I'm thinking about doing one where I do a plan and one where I don't do a plan to see which one you guys like more. But let me know down below in the comments if you tend to make plans before your paintings or if you just kind of go with it. I definitely think that there are pros and cons to both. I can imagine that if I were to actually plan my artwork beforehand, perhaps there would be less mistakes. In my head I feel like it would be better, but when I do it in practice it just doesn't tend to work out that way. I used the Cotman 45 half pan watercolour set to make this piece, and most of the oranges that I used were created by mixing cadmium orange hue as well as some gamboge hue. In contrast, my greens were actually quite cool, so the light green is sap green, and then to make the darker greens I mixed Hooker's green light with Viridian hue and then Payne's grey, and that's why it kind of has a bit more of a bluish tinge than the sap green alone. And to do the line drawing I used my Unipin 0.5. I really enjoy using this set and the quality of the paints. I do have a separate video where I swatch each and every single paint in this set and then tell you a bit more about it, so check that out if you haven't already done so. And everything is linked in the description box down below. And that is how I made this piece. I hope that you enjoyed watching the tutorial / speed painting and finding out a little bit more about me. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Here are a few bloopers, because why not? Whoops, don't know what I did there. Anyway, what is there really to say? In terms of like a brief introduction, okay, is there anything else I should add? Oh yeah, I think that's a goodish introduction.